I get lots of questions from people asking me how to find the right color. Well, I have a little exercise here that just might help. A real reason that mixing color gets to be a problem is just that. People are trying to mix color, when color has three parts that need to be controlled. Color has hue, color has value, color has intensity. And so if you're not thinking about what's happening with all three aspects of that, you might just be kind of playing in the dark, and might get the right color, might not. Now I have a little exercise for you that I enjoy doing still, that I think might help you get clarity on this. So first of all, go outside and get just a nature object. I went outside and picked up a dead leaf from my woods. It doesn't matter what, any kind of object that's relatively flat, that doesn't have a lot of shadows and stuff on it, so that you can just be looking at the local color, at the image itself, without a whole lot of change in value caused by light and shadow. So there's your first thing. Second thing, color wheel. Now these commercial color wheels usually have a bunch of stuff right in here that call themselves little color computers and stuff like that. They're absolutely useless. Cut those rascals out. I always take an X-Acto knife whenever I get a new color wheel, and I cut out all that stuff, throw it away. Now I can use the color wheel as it's meant to be used, to think by. So what do I do with that? After I have my image here, then I just take the color wheel. Now what am I looking for? I'm looking for hue, only hue. Hue means red, yellow, blue, violet, whatever. The colors that are listed along the color wheel here are hues. That's all I'm looking for. So what I want to do is to find a hue along this wheel that feels like the hue of the thing I'm looking at. And so I might hold it like this, and I might just simply rotate it like this. And, well, it seems to me it's kind of landed on, that feels like red-violet to me. Now, if it feels like red-violet, I'm not going to argue with that. I'm going to take that information, red-violet, and go from there. And I'm going to find out, is that the color I'm seeing? Is that the color I'm seeing? So, if it's red-violet, it's not red-violet as it appears on the color wheel. It's red-violet at a different intensity and perhaps a different value. So first of all, I want to go for a red-violet. Now I have here a wonderful color called quinacridone violet, which is pretty close to red-violet. You see, it's actually darker, a little darker than my leaf. So the first thing I want to do, adjust the value first. So if your original color is too dark, you'll want to add just enough white in there to bring it to the value of the color that you're looking at. Now this is a very bright color, but if I squint and I hold my palette knife in front of that and they sort of blend together, that tells me that's the value I'm looking at. Now I want to find the intensity. Well, how do I do that? Easy. I go from red-violet, I go straight across the color wheel, and I find that yellow-green is a complement of red-violet. I know that's going to reduce the intensity. So, what do I have that's yellow-green? One color I have that's yellow-green is Sap Green by Daniel Smith. Alright, again, it's very dark. It's darker than this. I need to adjust the value. So, value adjustment is the first step towards finding the right color that you're looking at. So, hue is red-violet, but what kind of red-violet is it? Is it dark? Is it light? Is it neutral? Is it less neutral? So that's what we're going to find out. Now, in order to do that, I'm going to, again, adjust the value, gradually pull just enough white into the sap green until it gets to be the same value as this. So let's see, let's get a little value correction going on here. This is where people will normally go a little bit south when they're trying to mix colors. They don't adjust the value within that mixing. So this seems to me there is pretty much the same value those two colors are, and I know that by squinting as I compare my color, and then I'll take this over here. I'm looking for just value, and squinting, I'm seeing that it does seem to be in the same value range. Now, gradually I bring a little bit of this red violet in, this sap green into this red violet mixture. All right, I bring a little bit in, and on the back of my palette knife I compare it, and I'll say, it's still kind of red violet. No, I need a little bit more. I bring a little bit more in and add it to the red violet and say, that still feels a little red violet, so I bring a little bit more in and add it to the red violet, and I'm getting there. That's getting very close. So it appears that I have a red violet of a low intensity and a dark value. And look at that. That is pretty much on the nose. And one way I can test that is to take a little strip of canvas like this, or a strip of paper, it wouldn't make any difference which, and go into my mixture with a brush just onto the edge, be sure it's the edge so that you can see, on the edge of the canvas like that, get it nice and saturated with that color. There it is. There's the red violet. And so I have discovered now that by taking a hue, or by reading the hue of a color, by adjusting the value of that hue, by adding the complement to that hue to adjust the intensity, I now have the color made of the hue, the value, and the intensity that I'm seeing. And there's your quick tip.